well, you gotta pay for shit somehow. So today I'm working on this damn 6-liter, as you can tell. Look right there, tons of oil coming out of this son of a bitch instead of coolant. So EGR cooler, or not the EGR cooler, the oil cooler is the culprit. So I got another oil cooler, and so I'm gonna be ripping this son of a bitch apart real quick, in hopes of fixing it. So anyhow, I got drift tractors just hasn't done shit with it. I fixed the Saab, got the new fender and the door and stuff on it. Got it pulled out a bit, and then put a few little spacers and stuff in there to kind of get it to kind of go right there at the top. But yeah, so this son of a bitch just like brand new, But yeah, so I gotta do a little bit of body work right there. It was raining earlier, and it's kind of started to hail a little bit, just a little bitty pea size, and so I pulled this son of a bitch in. Been daily driving the shit out of it. I just put it on E85 and there's like a, I don't know if you guys are super familiar with tuning, but there's like a modded ECU ROM where you can run like launch control and valet modes, and it'll like flash the check engine light if it knocks, and like a bunch of random cool little features. So I did that. I was messing around with that earlier, driving around. You can definitely tell it likes the E85. As much as I don't like E85, this son of a bitch seems like it wanted it, so I put it in there. But yeah, that's what's on the damn on the table tonight. So I'll tell you what a pain in the ass this shit is. I mean, you see this little mess I got going on over here, but got the bigger mess over here. Well, not bigger, and this is actually cleaned up from what it was. Pretty much all this shit, like right there, looked exactly like how it does back there, just all greasy and shitty and pain in the ass. So anyhow, basically how these 6 liters work is there's an oil cooler, and the oil sits in here, and then this guy right here, that sits up, those two little guys right there go through those holes, and it cycles coolant through this. And it basically, what it tries to do is make, the coolant, that essentially is the ice cube that sits in, like that glass of tea right there. But yeah, so it, you got to remove the turbo intake manifold, all kinds of bullshit. As soon as you get it off, there's a shitload of oil that just runs back there, and then you got to spoon feed it out. So yeah, it's a damn mess. But this is the first EGR, or not EGR, oil cooler that I ever did. So plenty of videos and shit on the internet, and that's pretty much how I learned to do most of my shit. I know how to work on stuff, but if I haven't done it before, I just get on the Google and find somebody else's how-to or watch somebody else's video, and bam, get her done. So anyhow, yeah, this thing's coming along. Alright, so this is where I'm leaving the son of a bitch for tonight. Got the oil cooler and all that crap in. There's a EGR delete, and then you can see there's a V-bend right there, and that's where the EGR bolts in the back to the up pipe that goes to the turbo. This is a replacement up pipe. This one's used, but it's good, and that other piece is used. But anyhow, it basically deletes this whole system right here, and this is the stupid exhaust gas recirculation shit. So basically, to meet emissions, it sucks in hot ass exhaust, cools it with the coolant, and then there's this is kind of like a little filter right there, and then it sucks that through the engine. Basically just heating everything up and causing a whole bunch of messes with these damn 6 liters, and that's kind of one of the issues that they had with them, and why they cause them to blow head gaskets, and need EGR coolers and oil coolers and all that shit, because it run too damn hot, and it causes too much pressure on the system, And I mean, this radiator cap is essentially the same thing as a Ford Taurus, you know, 16 pounds or whatever, which, I mean, it shouldn't necessarily need to run any more than that, you know. But when you're adding all that extra heat, you know, from the exhaust, you know, trying to cool that, you know, 1600 degree, or, you know, not 16 because you'll melt your damn pistons, but, you know, you're cruising up a hill towing a trailer. Your EGTs are, you know, probably upwards of, you know, 1200 degrees, and it's trying to cool that shit down and suck it back through the intake, you know, and then it's just heating everything up. And yeah, so that's why you delete the shit. So anyhow, I got that that other truck all squared away and situated. I just need to do a coolant flush in it. Right now, you know, I just got a mess on the floor, mess over here, all the damn tools and shit, just laying everywhere, all the crap. But so I don't know. Yeah, there's the old oil cooler. But anyhow, I need to fix this damn Civic. I think that'll be on the chopping block here soon, getting that thing painted, and I need to wire in a distributor on it. You know, somebody cut the wire tuck the son of a bitch. So I was just gonna found another distributor and a whole harness. So I was probably just gonna replace all that stuff, get it, because it lost spark as soon as I got it, you know, going back again when I put the other the big cert or the time cert or whatever in it. So as soon as I got it running after that, then the coil, you know, shit the bed again in the distributor. But yeah, I got this, you know, door and everything on the Saab, door and fender. I got to do a little bit of work back here, and, you know, see if I can buff some of that stuff off, do some paint work right there. Big Dirty. This lazy son of a bitch has just been sitting in here. He thinks he's retired. I've just been dailying the shit out of the Evo. I'll probably put, you know, almost, I don't know, at least 400 miles on it just this week, just cruising it around. Drove it up, you know, out of the city a couple times, and did perfect. Went and did the Manitou Incline up by Colorado Springs, and, you know, I mean, it just cruises on the highway, you know, right at like 80, 85, just super smooth, AC blowing ice cold and shit, so that's awesome. The initial, you know, what I was planning on doing, because I was on this little Saab kick, I never thought I was going to finish the Evo, so I was like, oh, I'm going to buy this damn Saab, and I'm going to just daily that, and, you know, and then when I get the Evo done, I'm just going to get rid of it, you know, and have a pile of money. But I don't know. I don't know what would be better, a pile of money or an Evo. Honestly, that's probably the best, you know, most fun car I've ever had to drive, you know, that's actually been mine. I don't know, it'd be nice to get rid of it so I could, you know, invest in some other things. You know, like I said, this season I was kind of chilling out on drifting and, you know, taking it easy in that aspect, trying not to spend a shitload of money, and, you know, trying to acquire a little bit more and put it in something as far as an investment property or something along those lines. Maybe, you know, throw it away in the stock market. But yeah, so I need to, you know, do a few things with Big Dirty this week. And I guess just decide if I want to get rid of the damn Evo or not. You know, I think it'd be a smart, kind of like getting rid of the 2J. It'd be a smart, you know, business decision wise, but it's not, you know, it's not really a fun having decision. But I guess we'll see, and go from there. But another one of the things I got to do next week, the chopping block. I didn't make too many videos this week. I was busy up driving the Evo. See right there. Son of a bitch is like, this side's not too bad. This one's over here. There's a little dick. So I gotta do these. There's like some seals. So gonna do that, and you know, shuffle some cars around, and maybe hopefully do the Maxwell seals this week. I gotta fix an oil leak on the Evo. Yeah, so it's, like I said, I've probably put, you know, 500-600 miles. The engine maybe has 800 on it so far. I don't know, somewhere in there. Put a little, been driving the shit out of it every day. And you know, have an oil leak down over here. There's, you know, like some banjo bolts for the oil cooler. that bolts up to it, and then kind of right here on the back of the pan. I don't know if I showed you that before, but I'm gonna go ahead and lift this son of a bitch up, get it ready for tomorrow, clean up this whole area, and then dick with that, change the oil again. We got this small battery installed. I don't know if I showed you that. That's about it. But anyhow, here are those O-rings for the, Mitsubishi. Those are like special things. So hopefully that'll keep it from, doing that shit. I got the vitamin. I love these son of bitches. But let's see. Over here, I had my little pack, with this little Sony thing. So I got a few videos. I raced a Mustang. Anyhow, here's kind of the tuning software. This is ECU Flash. Is how I tune. I have been messing with the tune on it. And this is basically a temp-for-mod, or how the hell you say it. So this is like the size of the maps for the stock, ECU. So you got 500 RPM to 7,500 RPM, and 10% load to 330% load. Then down here on this temp-for-mod map, this is a different ROM that you put on here. Here's the difference. So it's basically 500 to 8,500, and you have so many more variables, so you could get a lot finer detail, and 10% load to 350%. So you just have a lot more fine tuning that you could actually do with this. So after I put it on E85, I was having a few issues with knock. It was showing like, 7 counts of knock, at one point in time. Then I got down to about 3, playing with timing and stuff like that. Yeah, that's basically. So I decided to put it on E85. I don't know what it was doing or why it was doing the way it was doing. Maybe just because I upped the compression a little bit, but it was getting like random like 3 counts of knock at like 4,500 RPMs at like 10% throttle. It like not even hitting like 3 pounds of boost. It was weird. So I put it on E85, and since that's went away, here's kind of my method of, or how I go about tuning and doing it on the on the fly. So right here, if this will open up, yeah. So here's basically a map tracer, and then it'll show when it's running like your RPM, timing advance, knock sum, and then up here in this table, so it'll log the load over here, and then the RPM. So let's say at 4,500 RPM at 120% load, it would log certain counts of knock right there, and then so I'd basically come over here to 120% or 160% load at 4,500 RPM, in the ECU Flash. Let's see right here. So you'd come over here to your high octane, ignition map. I'd click on that, and then I'd come over here. Let's say 4,500 RPM at 120, 120, percent load, and then you'd kind of play with the timing in there, and reduce it or increase it or whatever. So I increased the timing over here. Pretty much left this map kind of stock over here. This is more of a base on it, so there's not really any timing in it at all. But it feels great. It's been on 16 pounds this whole time, and I love the way it feels. I love the way it sounds. I can't wait to turn it up, and actually go from there. But yes, that's what I've been kind of dicking with all week. I've been having some issues with actually getting the injectors to scale properly. That was another thing I was going to look at tonight. Was getting the injectors to. I have them scaled at like 513 when they're actually 1,000 cc's, which is weird. That's the only way I can actually get it to run. So that's another thing I need to mess with. As far as cruising around, full, wide open throttle, cruising on the highway, it's perfect. Sometimes when I come to a stop, it'll die, and that's another issue I need to kind of work out. But for the most part, it's pretty solid. So I was going to either maybe finish dicking with it myself. I love learning, and a couple of my buddies always bitch at me about tuning my own shit. And personally, I just like knowing, what's in, my engine as far as timing and fuel and being able to control it. And, as soon as something goes wrong, I don't have a big question mark over my head because, I've took the time to research and, figure out and play with, what does what on all this shit. So, with like my drift car and stuff like that, it's nice going out of state, you know, being able to be like, oh well shit, you know, it's running a little lean, or it's showing a little bit of knock right here because we're at a different elevation, or you know, different things like that, and actually being able to address the problem other than blowing up a motor over the weekend, you know, because you didn't have anybody there to mess with the tune or help you tune it. So anyhow, that's it's kind of my random ramble. But anyhow, I'm gonna go home, smash this video up. I want to get some tires. These are like 140 tread wear Potenzas, and you know, they don't like being cold. I almost spun the son of a bitch out. You know, the first day I was driving it, I kind of went around a corner right after I left the shop, and the back end kicked out all crazy and shit just because they don't like being cold. But yeah, I'd like to get a different set of wheels, coilovers, you know, lower it a bit, and just drive the son of a bitch if I keep it. But you know, there's always that stupid money that has to ruin everything and lead you to temptation, you know, of wanting to sell shit. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but yeah, I definitely need to buff it. Stupid gray Evo I've been mobbing around. But yeah, another thing is the stupid drift car. I kind of want to drift, but the 1JZ is kind of slow. But yeah, I don't know. Figure something out.